Hello and welcome to yet another episode on HTML and UI5 training. Today we will be moving ahead from the point we left the last time. So let's go into our web IDE and let's see what we can do after that. So just double clicking this Orion server and just minimizing it, and then don't cancel it, just minimize it. It's still there, you see. And now go to your web browser, and the place where you have, put your shortcut, just press that one. If you have it in case, then just type localhost 8080 web IDE slash index.html. Still, you will be brought to the same page. Now, sign in. Now you can see that in the last one, this is where we have started, and this is what you can see. Let me just cut the things that we don't need, because in the meantime, I did two more projects. So just for practicing those things. So, but we are into this one, my HTML project, and these are other ones which we don't need. I can even delete it. These things, I can delete it. Let's delete it right away so that we should not confuse you. Delete. So it's easy. Just go and delete it so that we shouldn't have these things anymore. But we should have kept it also, in order to just show you a broader picture, how things look like when you keep on developing the app, and finally how will it, end up into. Okay, but we'll do it later. But come back to our main thing that we were doing, is that we were doing HTML, just the beginning. And we discussed about how you can make a HTML file. So this is how our folder structure looks like. There's my project. Forget this one. I just right-clicked over here and made a new folder. And I named the folder as my HTML project. Now, inside this folder, I right-clicked and then made a new folder again. So now you can see the new folder name is web app. So this folder is part of this project, my HTML project. Okay. And they both, a day before and my HTML project, are part of this workspace. So there's another project, there's another project. Now, if you go inside the web app, so you see I've made a file that is called as index.html that you can see over here. In future, we'll be adding more files over here so that, when the project gets bigger, so I'll show you how to arrange the files also inside different folders, still keeping our project intact. This is the main project, okay? Now, you see in the last video, we talked about the head and the body. So it looks a bit like, we'll just arrange it. The head, and we do a declaration that is doc type HTML, and we are working on HTML5. This is the latest edition of HTML, released in the year 2012. And after that, we haven't seen any updates on it. I'm going to say no new version of HTML has come. So we all are working on HTML5 right now. So in order to, when you start a HTML5, you just put a declaration, doc type HTML, and then there is this sign over here, exclamation sign. So even if you don't write it, no problem. Even if you can delete it. After that, we have the HTML, the whole thing. If you forget this thing, we have got the HTML starting tag and the HTML ending tag. Inside this HTML starting and the ending, we have the head and the body that you are familiar with. Inside the head, we have mentioned certain meta informations in it. And I did discuss about what these things are, like UTF-8. If you think this kind of a problematic thing, then you can just ignore it. But as for like a UTF-8 is a standard of encoding. Whatever your key actually presses, it is encoded by the standards using UTF-8. So if you don't mention UTF-8, then your key, whatever you make your website and that is put on the browser. So the encoding of your keys are done by some default mechanism if you do not provide UTF-8. So this UTF-8 consists of all the keyboards of the world that has got different letters that could be, encoded. So let's say anywhere anybody is making a website, let's say in China. So this UTF-8 encodes the keys, those are written in Chinese keyboard, so that it should be encoded correctly, and so that when it is rendered on the browser or on the web service, it should be shown in the right way. Otherwise, there are possibilities that certain things might not show in the right way in the web. So we need the most updated versions of it, like UTF-8 is the one that actually encodes whatever you write, whatever you do on the screen. So correct encoding is done by the UTF-8. That's a char set. And then we have got the description and content. So like the content could be free web tutorial. So this is how you can make your search. You can add more phrases over here. Like you can see free web tutorial or learn JS, or you can add more of it so that your search engine might find these things. And when you go to Google and do a search, so these kind of things are actually looked for. So it should match your, whatever is searched should match these phrases so that Google can look for it and serve the content to you. So in the same way, there are certain keywords also, those are required. So that does also help in searching your web page. Like, for example, when you go to Google and if you type learn how to learn JS, you might get so many websites. So maybe one of the websites could be yours, because if the search engine has been optimized to come on the front page, so search engine optimization can be done to make your things come on the front page as well. So, and then you have got the author. You don't even need it, but then you can just add it, like who's created it. So it's me, Danish, who's created it. And these are the things. Those are viewport. Viewport is basically the content area of your web page. And then it says that when it launches first, whether it's a tab or a laptop or whatever the screen is, should be the size of the width of the screen. And initial scale is 1, so zoom is like 1. So whatever you have made, the zoom scale is 1. That means if you put a 2 over here, it will double the size of your content. So which is why scale is there. After that, we started with some tags that you can see, as I mentioned over here, that these are the H1, H2, H3, H4 tags, which gives different kind of sizes to your text. So let's play it after. You see, another thing that I would like to bring to your notice is this thing. And there are certain small little things that off and on could cause trouble. And this is the thing that you see. There's a star mark over here. And this star mark tells you that the thing is not saved. Whatever changes you have made is not saved. And if you put the play button over here and try to run it, so the updated stuff won't be reflected onto your screen. So it's always, should have the habit of using your finger, train your finger to use Control S. So it's basically I use the pinky and the middle finger do that, so that I should have the habit of doing it. You can use your own comfort, with your own comfort level, whatever fingers you like to use, you can do that. So I use, as I told you, the pinky and the middle finger to do that, and it's continuously most of the times when I'm doing it, it is continuously my pinky and the middle finger are there. And there is another tab that, so let me just write it so that you could remember it. The thing is the control button and the S button. This saves the changes, okay? The use of it is it saves the changes. And I think you know it, but in case, okay, so and then there is another one that's called as Alt button and Tab button. So if you press Alt, keep it pressed, and Tab, keep it pressed. So first press Alt and then Tab. You don't have to keep the tab pressed. So, but the Alt should be pressed. So your finger should be pressing this Alt, and like the way you do it with Control S, you do with the Alt tab. So this is the first one. There's the second one. If you do that, you can just change the windows. Since we have only one window over here, so see, my Alt is pressed. So if I want to change it to more things, which I'll show you later, and then we'll be using Alt tab. This also comes in handy. So do have the habit of using Alt tab as well. Okay, so now let's delete it and let's move ahead um, with our things. So till now, let's say I'll do a control save and you will see that the star thing will go away from here. And the another option is that you can use this save over here. So you can just press this thing and you see this top just buzzed off. We have used the hedge-pin tags, and that is used for making the size of the letters, the headings, and now we will be using the paragraph tag to write some paragraph. So what is, so let's start from HTML, and we can write what HTML is. We can say that it is called as hyper, that is so hyper actually, text. That means you can have hyperlinks to it. Hypertext. Markup language. So it's a markup language, it's not a programming language. It is called as a hypertext markup language. You write it and you get it. You write something and you get something, right? Simply. So there are no logics that you put inside your this language as you do in a normal programming language like JS. It's a hypertext markup language. And why hypertext? Because you can provide links and then it could be connected from one to the other like you do in a hyperlink. Same thing. So beyond the text, it says hypertext means beyond the text, it could go somewhere else too. It is the language to make static content, okay? And what is CSS? And then we can write another paragraph over here. Another paragraph, and we can say that CSS stands for cascading style sheets. So after you are done with your content, you want to style it. So you need something that could be of help, and that is called a CSS. So, and that is what it is. It makes the page or the content look beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Now the third thing is our JS. What is JS? It should be under a paragraph tag. You see, when I press this this one, the other tag comes on its own. The last ending arrow, you see, the right arrow. The other P and the ending closing tag comes on its own. And then we can write what is JS. So JS stands for JavaScript. It is used by front-end developers. It is not Java. So basically, the history of it is like why JavaScript has got a name, Java before the script is the reason is like it has got more of a business end to it, like marketing end to it, because Java was the famous language that time. And so and the maker of JavaScript wanted it to launch it in such a way that it should become famous in no time. So which is why they added Java before it, so that it should have a name already familiar with people, Java. So which is why this was like made JavaScript. And after that, that's enough. And let's see what the outcome is. And we can come over here and just refresh the whole thing over here. You can see the refresh button. I saved it so fast. You see, there aren't any star mark over here. So my hands are trained to just do a Control S so fast, and then things after that to hide this loading bar. Okay, and then we can see this is what the result is. Now, what else we can do with it? We have made our H1 and H2 and these things. What I can do is, what I've planned to do is like, there are a couple of things that I should be telling you. Like, I would not be going with the contents in a go, like getting the tags, all the tags in a go, and then styling it. Rather, what we can do is we can keep on styling and trying to will try to learn your tags as well at the same time, so that will give you a better picture of how to deal with the things. So, and one more thing, like you see, I have put these things in these tags, and if I keep on writing codes over here, the page might look so big. Okay, it will go on and on and on, and it will be very tough for you to actually get hold to the right things that you want to, when the page gets bigger and bigger with so many codes written on it. So there is a way that you can use to manage and compress your codes. Here, compression doesn't mean the compression that you do with a file, but then hide these things, and when you want to, you can retrieve it back. So the best thing that could be used for it, and that is also used for like it's called as a division tag, and you see I can divide the things and just pack everything. You see, I'll just do a Control X, and so thing is gone, and do a Control V, and my things are there. Now you see this little arrow sign comes, and then if I press this thing, you see everything is packed inside this div tag. This is another tag that's so very important and that you have to learn, and we'll be using this div tag a lot, many times, and that would be of such a great help. So okay, after packing this thing, so if you pack it, then these contents are packed inside the div tag. So any changes that you want to make inside the div, inside the things, you can just do something on the div tab, or you can use certain methods to bring about the changes in a go, rather than like, for example, let me just tell you, and we will go into that later. Let's say HTML is called as a hypertext markup language, but hypertext markup language, I want it to be in bold. What I will do is that I'll place another tag between the P tag, and I'll call that as a B tag the moment you put the other sign of it. So this part automatically comes when you close the P tag like that. Okay. Now what I'll do is that I will cut this part, this part, by doing Control X. Or rather, I would do something like let be like that, no problem. And you see, it is like this whole hypertext markup language is under the B tag. If you could see, let me just show it to you so that you can see that. you see it, the whole paragraph starts from here, ends over here, all right? I'm sorry, the paragraph ends over here, but this part, you see, is under a tag, okay? So that means this thing will get bold. So if you if you come back and Control S, save your project, and come back over here, you see I can make the whole thing bold, and you can even do so. Let me just do it the way it was. Let me just put the whole thing into the emphasis tag, and that is called as EM tag, so that you get a bit tilted view. So what you can do is that take the whole bold tag and the content of the bold tag, Control X, and put that inside the EM tag. So what we are basically trying to do is that we are nesting tags inside tags. So what you can see is that under the paragraph tag, this is under the paragraph tag, what we basically did is, let me just show you. There was a paragraph tag, okay, starting close, and then you have got the closing of the paragraph tag. There are certain text written, and then inside that we have got a bold tag. Here you have got certain text that you want to make it bold, and the closing, okay? And then you put this inside the emphasis tag, EM tag, start it, and then close it, something like this, okay? So this is how it is. It's something like this, you know, if you have read in your schools, like the bigger bracket, inside that you have the curly braces, inside that you have got the, you know, the parenthesis. What you basically see is that this is the big one, inside one, and the smallest one. So you see, if you consider them to be one bracket, this whole thing to be a bracket, so you will get the real picture what I'm actually trying to say. So this becomes the square bracket, and this becomes the curly braces. So put that as a square brace, and this becomes a curly brace, and this becomes my parenthesis. This is how it looks like. You see the structure? So this is how it is. And there is a term that is called as nesting of tags. So you can put tags inside the tags. It's called as nesting of tags. So let me just remove it from here for a while because we don't need it anymore if you have got the picture. Now, you see, I want to see what changes I have made. So again, I will do a Control S, and see it's not been saved yet. Control S, come back over here, and you see it is bold and it is also a bit tilted. All right. Now, one more thing that you would love to know, and that's again very, very important stuff, that just right click. Once you get this thing, right click over here. When you right click at the bottom of which you can see inspect. So let me just tell you, you know, I did it in the past also when I didn't have any knowledge of coding. And then when I did that, and something of this sort came, what I'm talking over here came, okay? So I really hated it because these codes were written over here and that did not make any sense to me. So, you know, once in a while I did that. So now, but since you have started to learn the programming, you should be aware of so many, you know, buttons over here that is called as tabs. So elements, console, sources, network, performance, memory, application, security, lighthouse, record, and that one. So part of it I myself don't know because I've never used them. But up to this point, you know, you could possibly use it in future as well. Let's start from the elements. So you see whatever you have written inside your code, and you see this code that's written over here, you see this code that's written over here is actually present in the elements tab over here. You see what is HTML, and there is the paragraph. If you see it is called as, and then have the paragraph, and then what is CSS, and then inside that you have got these things. So if you keep on doing it, and you see our emphasis, and then you have got the bold tag over here, and that's under the body. You see this is the body, HTML head and body. This is how it looks like. So the point I'm trying to actually make is, you see, it's kind of a structure that opens up. So starting from the let me just minimize the thing. So if we had a button over here, then we could have actually minimized the whole thing. But you can think it to be like something that is spreading out like this. So something that is spreading out, and that's very important, like a tree. So if I could show you through a picture, things are like spreading out like this, you know, every time you go into it, and it further spreads out into more. Okay, so this is called as a tree data structure, because it spreads like the branches of a tree structure. So if you go to one bough of the tree, then you can have more of the boughs inside it, and it's got more branches inside it. So this is how it, that tree actually is. And with so little code over here, you could see that let me just show it to you. It's like the body, if you see this. So if you try to look into the body, you see there are branches, the body that's coming out of it. And if we had not done it before, then possibly it would look something like this, and then this, and then more branching, and then more branching of it. And if you keep on writing codes, then you will get more branches of it. So, which is why it's called the tree data structure, and famously called as DOM. So whenever I talk about a DOM, that data object model, so you should think of it to be a tree data structure that is called as a DOM. Document object model. So the whole thing is my document, and then or data or document, and then there is the whole object. So you remember in our first class, I talked about object. So you see this word is again being used over here. So when I talk about an object, that means a complete thing I'm talking about. Okay. So the whole data thing I'm talking about is an object now. Okay. Like, for example, if you're again getting confused with the term object, let me just give you one example. The door. The door is an object in itself, all right? A window. A window is an object in itself, okay? Because the window has got a functionality, like you can open the window and close the window and put the slider on, or you have got a door to, you can open the door and close the door. And then you have got the room, which has got a door and everything. So over here, the room becomes an object because the room has got a door and a window and those kind of things. So anytime, anything could become an object which has got functionalities, which is packed with functionalities. So here you can see when we talk about this thing as a DOM or an object over here, object, document object model. So we're basically trying to tell that it is a complete stuff that we have. Okay. So this is how it is. Now, and every time when in order to settle down, see, it takes time to settle. Okay. And the word is called as internalize. No, it's English, nothing to do with any kind of computer stuff. So you can either say settle down and internalize. So if you hear a word, even in your everyday life, you hear some word, whether in English or whatever language you speak. And then the first time you don't get a hang of it, but the context, when in different contexts, when you see the same word, then finally that word becomes a part of your active vocabulary. That means you can use it while conversing with people. In the same way, when you hear the object for the first time, and the second time, and the third time, and I would be doing it again and again so that you should not miss, the very important thing that's called an object and what it actually holds inside it, because this thing will come in so many different contexts and with so many different uses of it that you should be knowing. Otherwise, you might get confused that I call this as an object, and now I'm calling the other thing as an object, but the real idea of the object remains the same. Object means a complete thing. In my mind, as I told in the last class, in the mind, I think it to be having some very, impactful stuff that can do something. This is how it is. Now let me just delete the whole picture over here. And this DOM is a very important thing that we will be talking later in our videos. Coming back to our coding part, so this is what we have done till now. Moving ahead from here, what we can do, that we can have some more tags that we can use it. Okay, so what other tags do we have? So we have an image tag, okay, img tag. So it will bring any image from anywhere you want. So in order to bring the image tag, you see, when I put this closing, although it is not a closing, but then I just close the image, because whenever you close something, this is the start, this is the close. You see, there's a special bar over there to close something. If you remember, the special bar looks something like this. You make something, so this not a closing but a starting, and this is the closing. So you put this special bar over here, and then it closes. Okay, so this is how you close stuff. So, but not all the tags actually have a closing. Like the image tag you see, like the input tag you see, don't have a closing, and there could be more maybe. Okay, so you should also be aware of it, that in all the tags you won't see a closing. Okay, so let's go with the image one, and then you can get the image. So inside the image, you have to pass a thing, a property that is called as a source. And you put equals, and after that, quotations, and then get an image from anywhere you like, whether it is in your own drive, in your own computer, or whether it is you're getting it from some internet. So we will get it from different sources, so that you should know how to get images and attach it to your project. So another thing is that it's not possible for you to just attach anything from the computers, because then you will run the risk of infringing on the copyrights. So let's get some picture, because this is just a tutorial. And when you actually make a website, so, and suppose you want to get the images that you wanted to use, you just can't get it from anywhere. So let's take some image from here, and I think and this looks fine. We can go ahead with it. And here you see there is a thing called as copy image address. So what I did is that I right-clicked on it, I right-clicked on the image, and I got copy image address. I simply copy the image address by clicking on it, coming back over here, and just doing a Control V. And you see a really big image has come over here. Okay, so do a Control S and come back. So every time you won't get this big a file path. So let be that big. We don't care. Just save it and come back to our page, and we can see. We can just check out if the images come or not, and you see the images come over here. It looks beautiful. Okay. And if say you want to get an image from your computer, so what basically you can do, you can again type the EMG and then close it. And then over there, you will write the source of your file, and then just do it, put the address over here. But there's a bit of a problem that I would like to discuss that. See, we are working on Web IDE, especially designed to work for SAP related projects. So, and we use a framework and those things, and it is well suited for, SAP landscape. So if you don't know about SAP, let me just give you a brief idea what SAP is. So it's a firm, it's a company that actually designs, makes makes frameworks, and is too much into the business sector, and they know the business needs, and they developed some kind of predefined rules to how to make an app and how to work on it, and whether it's a front end or the back end. So the whatever a business requires, so everything is packed inside the SAP. So it's a big landscape. It will take some time for you to understand. It's a German-based company, and it has spent a lot of years understanding how companies function, how they work, what are the different departments in it, and how those departments work in sync, and how data retrieval could be easy if the apps are there, if those functionalities are there. So SAP has spent a lot of time in doing that, and finally they came up with a solution, and that is called as SAP. And so another thing that I was trying to tell you is that, so like getting the image over here. So let me just bring the image first, and then I'll talk about it. So I'll just go on to web app. This is my folder where I'm making a project, and the real name of the project, my HTML project. Inside that, I've got a web app. I'll right click on the web app, and I will import from where? From file system, from my own computer. So it will tell me where to go. I'll say just browse. I want to see the pictures. So it took me to the pictures section. You can see over here. So this is the picture I want to borrow. I want to get, and just open it the way you do it a normal thing. Press OK. You see this is the picture it's got. So I've got a picture over here. I'm saying it's a binary data. We don't need that thing. So just, we got the picture over here. You can see that there's a picture. What you can just type over there is that since the picture is very local to your own setup, own folder level, so you don't have to actually do anything. Just type the name 410 and 60, and the type is JPG. Okay, you typed it, and let's come back and check out over here, and you see the picture is gone. But the problem is that if you're working on the best of the tools, that is called as Visual Studio Code, and you would be working on Visual Studio Code if you're not interested in going further into SAP. And let me just show you a caveat, okay? Because I will be making this video completely for people who want to become front-end developer, okay, not a website creator. But even if you want to become a website creator, you want to make a website, that is also a very demanding thing. But there's so much of a rush into it, so you have to spend a lot of time finding your niche into it, and then projecting yourself as a as a good developer. So, but then, just in case you'd be interested in knowing Visual Studio Code, let me just tell you, and you want to make your codes over here, you want to write the HTML codes over here. So in that case, here is the one. So I might have told you in some of the videos that in third part of the video, or maybe the fourth part, the tools those are required for making the thing. So this is how it is. Now you see, what basically you have to do is that you have to do the same thing, exactly the same thing as you did in web IDE, you just make an HTML file inside the web folder. But the problem over here is web IDE provides you the folder inside its own landscape. You don't have to make a folder somewhere else in the computer. So web IDE manages it. But here, you have to make your own folder and then start working on it. So let's say when you open up, you might not see these, my first project or these things over here, all right? It will be completely empty. The only thing that you have to know is this particular button. In this button, what you will be doing is that you'll be pressing a file and it opens whatever you want to open. So you have to open a folder. So just a quick way of doing it is that, because I won't be doing things on it. So if you want to get started with HTML, what basically you can do over here is that you just create a, let's go to your D drive. So I will go to, let's go to our D drive, and then in the D drive, we'll create a folder. You see, new, that will open new folder, and we will call that as VS Code. Okay. For YouTube. Okay, this is where it is. So, and then since we'll be having so many folders, multiple projects, so inside that, we'll just create another folder. Remember to create another folder. And here we'll write our first project. So it's so simple, see, and done. Once again, a recapitulation. Go to your D drive or any drive of your choice, or even on the desktop, you can do that wherever you want to. Is it called as desktop? Yeah, a desktop. Even on the desktop, you can do that. Or but the best place to do that is D drive. You know, it's you're not just putting everything on the main screen that is your desktop and clutter it with so many data. Now, coming back to the D drive, what I did is that I just made a folder, called that folder as VS Code for YouTube. Inside, I double-clicked, I made another folder, and there I made it our first project, make it HTML. That would be a better option. HTML. It's not an extension I'm giving, just saying something that my project would be like a HTML project. It's a folder. Folders don't take any extension like .jpg or .mp4, those kind of things. It's a folder, so you can name the folder. Our folder is done. Now we can just cancel everything and come back to our Visual Studio Code. Come back, forget these parts. Think that they don't exist at all. Okay, come to the file, come to the open folder. Let me see, because I have to come back over here, which my first project I was in. Okay, so open folder. And where do I have to go? Do I say YouTube or something? No, that means I'm inside some project. So let me just go back inside the D. Okay, it's here. Our thing is here. VS Code for YouTube. Just press it once, and I'm going to say double click it, so that you can go inside it and just press this thing once. You see our first project, HTML, there. So it is equivalent to actually making this thing. Okay, but we are doing it over here, and the rest of the things can be done, like creation of web app and folders and files inside it. But this part has to be done outside in VS Code. So this is what we are doing over here. You see that? So just select the folder, select it, and done. You see, everything new's come over here. It says, yeah, yes, I trust the author and anybody who's there. And after that, you can see the same structure is there. So you can just make a comparison between the two. Let me just put that in the half window and just show you how the two things look like. You see, there is the workspace. And so here is, you don't have a workspace. You directly have this my HTML project is equivalent to our first project. And then you added a web app folder. I also add a web app folder over here, web app, and then done it. Just right click on it and create a new file. Right click on what? On web app and create a new file. You create a new file over here. You can call that as index.html. All right, and press enter. So see, it's come over here. And now what you can do is that you can copy everything that you have written over here. Just click it once so that you can see this cursor sign over here, and then you just do a Control A so that all the content is selected. Then do a Control C. After doing Control A, you do a Control C, and then come over here and then do a Control V. Same thing, nothing new. Okay, let me just minimize the whole thing so that I can show you. So this is the content that we created for HTML, and now we have to see what changes, what we have done, how we can run this thing. So in order to run it, you need to right click again in order to run this page. So let's save it. You see the black button out here tells you that you haven't saved it. The moment you do a Control S, this black thing just went off. And now you can come and right click over here and reveal in File Explorer. So the moment you reveal in File Explorer, it takes you to the file that you have saved inside your VS Code for YouTube, our first project HTML, and then the web app. So you see that inside the web app, you have this thing. So you can even go to a D drive and check that this thing has the folder web app and index or HTML has been made inside it when you made that on the VS Code. But this part, the VS Code for YouTube and our first project, you have to make that in the D drive itself. This is the only thing that you need to do. After that, it's easy job. So every time you want to make a new project, you have to make a folder inside this thing. Next time, suppose you want to make another HTML project, what you can do is that inside this same folder, you can say my second project HTML, and then come back to the VS Code over here, come to the file, and then open folder and things like that. So this is how you're going to do that. Okay. I'm sorry, where did we go now? Okay, here. So let me just take you back to this point. So let's go to the VS Code, double click it. After double click, oh, I'm sorry, I did a mistake. Double clicking will bring to this part. Right click and reveal in File Explorer. Now, when you reach to this particular point, double click it, and you see the same thing is here as it is here. Yeah, same thing. But this part is not coming because now the another picture that you see over here is not coming, which was coming in our case, is that we brought the picture into our into this. We brought the picture over here. You see that over here. But in VS Code, there's another way to do that. Another way means that's the only way you can do that. You don't have to do something of that sort. What you have to do is that you can go to your this thing, the picture that you want. So as a picture. I want this picture. So I can drag and drop this thing, or let's do a Control C and Control V. Control C, I copied it, and come over here on the web app, and let's do a Control V. Are you sure? It says, are you sure you want to paste it? Yeah, I'm sure I want to paste it. So you see, it's like the same thing. The only change is that the method that I applied is I copied it and pasted it. And you see, even the picture is coming over here. Now, if you go and see how your page looks like, so what you can do is that come over here and refresh the page. You can see the picture is also coming over here as it was coming in the SAP Web IDE. Everything the same. The only way that you are referencing the image is like by just drag and drop or copy paste. So whichever way you feel like, let's drag and drop also. So let me just put that into a half, get the picture. I can also show you how to drag and drop. Let's say this is another picture that I want to bring it. You see, I'm holding it over here. You see, where do you want to drop it? So it says where? Let's put it over here. It put it in a different, not inside the web app, rather inside the whole project. So what we can do is that we can just drop it over there. Are you sure you want to move it to the web app? Yeah, move it. Now you see the folder structure is good. index.html is under the web app. Default is also directly under the web app, and 1060 is also inside the web app. So you can do a drag and drop and put the things over here in the VS Code. So at the beginning, you can even, what is this thing? Just cancel it, and we don't need this one also. So this is how you can get the pictures inside your content area. And if you want that picture also there, so just give an image tag. Right now we are working on VS Code, so don't get confused. Equals, and we'll go back to our, default. Now, you see, the VS Code is so brilliant. Why I like VS Code so much? Because when we were working on Web IDE, these kind of code completion wasn't there in it. It was there, but not to the extent that Visual Studio Code provides you. It really provides you a lot of help, like these, so it is seeing it like there is a thing called as default JPG, which we brought over there. And see, you just do that and do a control save. And if you can come and check out this thing, and it has come in, it's so big also. You see that this particular thing is so big, so we can even make it smaller just by lowering the width and height of it, and you can just do that, no problem. Okay, so you see both are, HTML, the app that was developed over the Web IDE is rendered on the browser. You see this on the browser, Chrome browser. And the one that we developed on VS Code also is on the Chrome browser. So you should not get confused like, something else is happening. It took me a long time. When I started, let me just share one thing with you. When I started learning this for the first time, you see this SAP Web IDE is where? You see that? It's on the Chrome browser. It's running on the Chrome browser, okay? So the picture is that you downloaded so much of a thing. So it's like an app you're working in. So like a native app. Like a WhatsApp, that's a native app. So it's an app, and we are inside the landscape of the app, like the WhatsApp. But what we see over here is that we are under the Chrome browser, working everything is under the Chrome browser. Okay, see the Google Pictures, this one from VS Code, this one from Web IDE, and this one is also working on the Web IDE. So you see that, but still it's on the Chrome browser. So the browser actually is the one that is helping you to see these things. So you see inside the Chrome browser, there's a tab that's taken a space and in which we are writing code. So which is why it gives you a picture that when do we see these things in the browser? We never see that in the browser, but still we are using the browser tab. You see that? So the picture is like we are working on some different environment, and we fail to see that we are actually in the Chrome browser itself. Nothing new about it. Okay. Okay, so let's delete. I'm saying just remove it from here because we are not working on the Visual Studio Code. Rather, we are working on Web IDE. And let me just for a recapitulation where we are right now. Let me just cancel the whole thing so that we can see where we are right now. So that I should not get confused. Okay, so we are actually at the very starting of the page. Nothing new, nothing special. We just open our window and then double click it, minimize it, go to a web browser, Chrome, come over here, go to your Fiori. You don't have it bookmarked, so bookmark it. How do you bookmark? Right over here, localhost 8080/webide/HTML. And then you will be brought to this page. Let me just do it this way this time. So localhost 8080, you see that? Just delete the things from here. Web IDE. And we don't want the special characters. Don't even want the F because we are looking for it as HTML. This is what you have to type in case you haven't bookmarked it. So if you want to reuse it, just bookmark it, and you know the process of to do that. Just press it, and you go to the same page. Now you can come and just log in from here. Just sign in, and it's loading. You see that? Close it. You're brought to the same thing. Just press the play button and you're brought to the page. Everything easy, okay? Switching between the tabs. You see that? Okay. Coming back to our project and write some more codes over here. So we have seen the div tag, besides the newer things like paragraph tag and the emphasis tag and the bold tag and the nesting of the things. And we checked out the DOM over here also by right-clicking and going to the inspect part and seeing this part. Whenever I talk about the DOM, the picture that should come, that this is the part I'm talking about, okay? It's like a tree data structure, that's it. Now coming back over here, and let's do some more things. So we have added a picture. Let's add some more picture over here. So how will we add the picture? When we are working on Web IDE, we'll right-click, import from file system, browse, and go to this one and press open, okay. And you see here it comes as a binary data. But when you come and check out this thing, if you haven't saved it, in case you haven't even put that inside our image tag, image, write the src property of it, equals. Now you see, but the moment I did put the quotation, no help is coming. That was being shown on the VS Code, which is why I told I love it so much. JPG. VS Code is the best tool I've ever seen. Okay, closing it, Control C, and come back over here and just refresh the whole thing, cancel it, and you see the same. Let's lower the width of it, height and width of it. So width width equals 80 pixels. Under quotations, I suppose. 80 pixels. And the height also should be HEIDHD. Height should be 80 pixels as well. And then come back and let's check out. So this is how it looks like now. Doesn't take a lot of space. Let's make it a bit bigger. Make it 80, make it 200. And make this also as 200. It is too small. No, it's okay. We will set these three things of I will set these three things later. Now we can get some more tags, and I also talked about the styling as well. So we will get back to styling as well. And then there is the video tag that you can use. Video. So just write video over there and press it, and you can just get the video tag. And then you have to put the source from where you're getting the video. I'm getting a video from the from W3 schools. So you can come over here and check out. I already bookmarked the page, so why will I go like that? Instead of doing that, I will go over here. W3 schools, very important for learning any language. And, you should have the habit of going to W3 schools whenever you see a problem, okay? So when you go to W3 schools, then you will be seeing a lot of stuff over here. And what do you want to search for? You want to search for a video tag. So video, and just press like this. Make it video HTML, otherwise it'll show something else. Video HTML. So these are the things that you can learn here, like SQL, Python, Java, PHP, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. So this.
Hello. So you want to learn how to make websites. In that case, you need to learn HTML.
And
let's start at
this video. And let's come over here and check out some video. So you see this is the name of the video, MP4, movie.mp4. You see under the video text added a source to it and more sources to it because there are different formats on which are supported by different browsers. So we know that these days everybody is using basically the modern browsers, so we don't have to specify these things right now. We will just put the source like this, MP4, and come back over here And instead of this, we'll just put this one. But the video won't run because you see, it's kept somewhere outside your computer. It's nowhere over here. So it won't run unless you provide the complete address of the file that you are trying to reference. So we know that the file is coming from W3 schools. So you need to pass the complete address of it. And the complete address is HTTPS, I suppose. Maybe I'll check it out. And then it is W3 schools. Okay, W3 schools. Let me see what it is. w3schools.com HTML. This whole thing. Just copy it and just we'll try to paste it over here up to this point. And so we copied it, and we already have this movie MP4. So let me just check if it works. Get the movie. Let's check this way. Now come back and check over here. Have the movie? No. So we'll cut this part as well. And now check. Now you see the movies here now. So we took the complete address of it, just removed certain parts of it because we are referencing movie.mp4, and where it is in the w3schools.com. Inside the HTML, there's a thing called as movie.mp4. So if you go back over here, so inside the HTML, we have got this particular part, okay, movie.mp4. So we can use it into our project, and then the complete referencing is done that way. Now, but then you see there aren't any controls over here. You see it's there, but you can't play it, stop it, and those kind of things. So you need to put something called as controls inside it. So put controls inside it, just controls, nothing else. And then if you come back and check out, it will give you controls to play and pause the whole thing. See? Stop it. So brilliant. Oh, now come back to our project size. That time I accidentally put a control save over here. We don't save anything on this page. Actually, we save everything over here. Okay, so we saw how to use the video tag as well. So you can put more videos inside it. What about putting the YouTube videos into your own projects? Of course, if you have made your YouTube videos and if you want to place them, then you can, of course, go ahead and do that. So let's go to our YouTube, and inside our YouTube, we can go to our YouTube channel, and you can just pick a video from there, and we can try to. So how do you reach to your things? Just view your channel, and inside that, we will look for our videos that we want to put. You can take any video, but I am choosing my own video.
Efforts for your child.
So just when you come to this point, right click on the video and copy embedded code. Okay. And that thing, and just simply paste it, nothing else, because the tags those are used inside it is that is called as iframe tag, and it will come on its own. You see, when I put this thing over there, it comes on inside an iframe tag. And so we'll talk about this tag in a short while. So you see our videos come over here, and then you can come and refresh the page, and you see your videos here. You see that your whole YouTube video is here. No problem. Now you can just decrease the size of it because it says that it is 917. I want to make it just 300, and this also as 300. And let's see if it works. So you see our video is there. And if you want to play it into your own HTML file space, then you can still play it
If
over
I
here,
were to make
or you
one
can even
video for
go to
children,
YouTube and
this
play
would
the
be the
same
one.
video.
I
So no
know
problem.
most of the people who are going to
Let's see if it does take it to a YouTube video. Yeah,
going
it
to
does.
watch the video might
Yes, you don't have to actually make anything in it. So depends upon how you want to watch it. Besides that, you see you have got these controls over here, which is provided in the code as well. You go deeper into it, then you will see that those controls possibly are there. And there are so many stuffs in it. Those are mentioned in it. So you can just check out. I think the special control like thing is not there. It's autoplay and encrypted gyroscope and web share and other things are there. Allow full screen. That is there. Instead of control thing, this is actually allowing you to go full screen. So when you come back over here and you press it, then it will play the whole thing in a full screen.
to watch the video might not like it because there aren't any quick
So you can
fixes.
come back and
Things are so
check that as
confusing.
well. So this
I
is
have
how
made
you
this
have
video for all
multiple
those
things
children who are around 2 years of age,
inside
and
your content.
especially for Aniket's brother. For all those people who are trying to teach the children, their brothers or sisters,
Stop it.
my first
Yeah, start from here. So you see, we have reached to this point where we have put so many tags inside it, and now just one more tag, that is iframe tag, and then we'll close it. So just an iframe tag is used to bring a complete HTML file inside it. So let's say you have a website somewhere, and if you want to put that website inside your own website space, then you can use this iframe. So we just use iframe and just get any website from the from any kind of source that we have. Let's do the source and then come back over here and let's get some website from the internet. So iframe website, let's see if we have something. HTML iframe tag, HTML iframe, do we have more things? Best iframe websites. If you come to this one, this is what we get. Okay, so you see that you just copy this part, Control C, the top over here, the address of this page, and just paste it over here. And let's come back and check out how your website looks like now. Refresh it, and simply you have this whole complete HTML website now into your own space. It looks very crazy, but if you go use the scroll button and then you go down and you can see a complete thing. What we can do is that, let me just make it a bit more wonderful. Let's create another index or HTML. Go to the web app. I want it to be used in the next page. So what we will do is that we will make a file, new file, and call that as call that as, you can call it anything, by the way, but I'm looking for some name. Let's call it index.html2. I don't want to bother myself with the names right now, but the idea is that we just want to create another HTML file. Okay, and then you can come over here and again do a HTML inside it. Control S, see that, and then we can do that ahead. And when we get the head, we have the body also. We have the body, and then inside the body, we can just bring this whole thing, this particular thing, iframe. Okay, Control C. Just we did a control, rather we can do a Control X, or let it be Control C, and come back and paste this thing over here. Okay, and wait. So we just put the whole thing in the body. The way it is in the body over here, it's here in the body. But we have to do something so that we can press a button and we can go press something, a link over here, and we automatically go to this particular page. So let's say what I'm talking about is that instead of having this thing, just one sec to do that. Where is my thing? Here. So what I'm basically trying to tell you is, you see, here over here, over here right now. Okay. So what we are basically trying to do is don't want this thing over here. So instead, we will create a link, a sort of a link that could be pressed. Okay. That could be pressed. When you press the link, it takes you to another page where you see this website. Okay. This is the idea. So what we will do is, what we did till now is uh, what we have done is that just delete these things, drawing. Okay, we copied the whole thing and put it over here. So this page actually sees the website now, the complete HTML inside the HTML. So what I'm saying is that I have a complete, because this website is also made on HTML. Okay, the complete HTML iframe, and this source is inside my own HTML page. And now what I will do is that I will delete it, this part, because the source is already there. Just want to reference it, nothing else. So in order to reference it, we have to again put a source. Where do you want to go? We want to go to the index2.html. So what we are doing over here, we are referencing it, and now we can write click me. So when certain click me, then the moment you click this thing, click me, just the text, it will take you to the website. Just control save, control S, and come back to this page, and you will see this thing is gone, and you will see a kind of a click me written over there. Where is the thing? Refresh it. Oops, was it possible? It's still there. You do some mistake and not save it or what? We are referencing index2.html. Click me. Yeah, it is there, but still loading the earlier page. Ideally, should not do that. Let me see, there is some problem or what? You just refresh it, save it. You're here, save it, refresh it. Still there. That means it is loading the earlier content, not the new one. This is what we have done, right? In this page, we don't have that content that we have over here. Okay, this webflow.com iframe thing is in the index2.html. In the HTML, we have this reference that takes you to this page, and you click it on click me. But the thing is that it's not saving. So if that is the case, it's not saving. What we have to do is, it's a very normal problem, actually. We will have to do one thing. That is, we have to close everything and clear the cache and those things. Like over here, you see there is a delete browsing data and those things. And again, we'll try to set in. So when let me just show it again. Here is the thing, delete browsing data. It's good that this problem has come because you'll be facing these problems many a times. And don't worry, because when you are a starter and you see these problems, you're not able to understand why the problem has arisen, and then you end up thinking your codes are not written in a nice way, or you might have done any mistake or something. No, the thing is that these things are very common in it, especially in this web IDE. So what you need, this problem is not there, I suppose, in the VS Code, but it is there in the web IDE. So you need to come to this point, pressing these three dots over here, come to this point. It's called overflow toolbar, and then delete browsing data, and just it will clear up the cache and everything, some stored data in it, and then delete the data. And let's try again. Once again, if it doesn't work, we'll just switch off everything. Switch off means cancel everything and restart the whole project. You're not authorized. Why? So clear the cache. Let's play the whole thing again. Okay, no problem. These things are there. Okay, so just cancel it. Sometimes I have to restart the whole thing again and again, more than 2 or 3 times. So just double click the whole thing, minimize it, come to your web browser, and go to your run thing, and here sign in again, close it, and then run your thing. This time it will work. And you see, oops, it's still there. Why is it there? That's a kind of a concern. Is the file still there or what? Iframe tag, the YouTube video, W3 schools. No, the file is not there. Means the source is not there. If the source, let me just delete it for a while. Control X and save it. Come over here. You can see it. You see, it's not here. Fine. So this is what we want. But the problem is, I've just put a source iframe and just referencing to click me. So the source is index.html. It has to take me to another page that is index2.html, index2.html, and it should show me click me, and I don't see any click me in the iframe. So why is the thing there? Rather, it brings the whole page over here. Let me just delete something from here. Rather, comment it, and come over here. Let's see what happens. It's taking the space still. What I did is that I just went over here and just commented this part. I'll tell you how to comment it. It's control and a slash, forward slash, and you can do that. Control forward slash. Put your icon, put your cursor over here. When it starts to blink, control slash, and it will comment the code. By commenting the code means it will not be read. So control save again, control save, and this is kind of a problem that I have not seen. Like having done the cache clearance, it should ideally work, but then it's not working. What is the problem? What it says that I'm referencing index.html too. So this is what it is. So it is a click me over here. Then let me see if I've done in my earlier. The same, it's done over here too. Just check out if I have the same thing. Footer is there, and see, it's absolutely the same thing done over here. Okay, okay. The problem that what I did over here is, let me just delete this thing and I'll come back to it. What I was doing is that I use an iframe tag rather than an anchor tag. It should be an anchor tag. So that's a very important tag that I missed completely. Okay, and I thought that I was using an anchor tag, and this problem won't come. Okay, so you see, it says a click me, and then it's the problem now. Click me, HTML, okay, save it. So when I bring my mouse over here, it should give me a sign that I can navigate to the next page. And I've used the anchor tag over here. And SRC, is it used with HRES? Okay, I think it's href, href. Now it will work. And you see, you can just click me and it takes you to another page that's here. But then we don't see anything at all in it because we have commented this part. So let's uncomment it. Just bring the cursor over there, let it blink, control, /. Now it is looking for the file, then refresh it, come back, and you see it takes you to the next page, and there you have this thing. Now, but the thing is that it looks so you want the width and the height of it. So let's give the width as 100%, 100%, and the height also as 100%, so that you can have in the full view of it, 100%. And next, let's come and check it out. Refresh the page. Come over here. This is how our website, the first page looks like. There's a click me. You can go and click me over here. And you see the whole website is put on your next screen. So you also learned today how to navigate between one screen to the other. And here's the back button that takes you to the next page. So you can click me over here and it takes you to the next page. So today we have learned things like tags, like paragraph tag and a div tag. We'll be using div tag in our next session. More of it. And we have learned to use image tags and video tags and iframe and anchor tag. So this is used to anchor anything. If you want to make something clickable, then you should use the anchor tag. But here we don't put a src, but rather we put the href, HTTP reference over here, and then we do that. Okay, thanks for watching the video.